Hi everyone, my name is Emily and today I'm going to teach you how to cook with a smoker. Smoking is a barbecue technique that usually uses indirect heat to cook food low and slow. Whether using a dedicated smoker or a standard grill, it is a technique that anyone can master. Maintaining even heat for a long period of time takes effort and practice. If using a charcoal smoker, use vents to control heat. Digital electric smokers are convenient because they maintain even temperature. There are many different types of wood used for smoking, each with different characteristics. It is important to use the type that best pairs with the food that you're cooking. Adding too many wood chips is one of the biggest rookie mistakes. It can make your food taste really bitter and just have too much smoked flavor. It tastes like it comes out of a house fire. Wood can be purchased online, at hardware stores, garden supply stores, and even some grocery stores. Some people prefer chunks better than chips because the chips burn really quickly, so you have to constantly maintain them and keep adding more chips to it when the chunks burn a lot slower and can add a lot of flavor to your food. A fun tip to try is combine some different types of wood. Try pecan and cherry together and make a new unique flavor. It is important to add moisture to the smoking process so the food comes out tender and flavorful. Be sure to check the water pan regularly throughout your smoke, as you may have to replenish it a couple times. This does not always necessarily have to be water. You can try adding herbs, marinades, fruits, wine, or even beer to your water pan. In some cases, you don't want to add moisture, such as when you're making jerky, you're trying to dehydrate the food. So you're not going to add any moisture to it at all. You're actually trying to suck all the moisture out of it to make a nice dry jerky. All right, choosing the right food to smoke. When you think of smoking, most people think meat. They think of ribs and brisket, but there are a lot more options. With the right knowledge, you can smoke just about anything. Meats, obviously beef, chicken, pork, lamb, whatever your heart desires. Vegetables, corn on the cob is great, potatoes or mushrooms. Fruit like peaches, cherries, and plum, those stone fruits, they're delicious. Who doesn't love smoked nuts? Walnuts, pecans, almonds, delicious. Some cheeses, cheddar, mozzarella, provolone, or Gouda. And spices, paprika, cumin, garlic, and salt. Another great thing to smoke is pasta dishes. I make smoked mac and cheese all the time and it's great. You can even smoke some desserts such as cheesecakes and pies. So there's a couple different kinds of smokers that we talked about earlier. One of the ones that I use all the time, electric smokers. This is really convenient, simple to use. You can maintain the temperature really easily. It requires little attention and it's great for beginners. Another option is gas smokers, which run off of propane. They're fairly simple to use. They take a little bit more expertise, but they can be great when electricity is not available. So if you're camping, something like that, those are great. Charcoal smokers, by far, they taste the best. They produce great food, but it requires a lot of expertise. You got to really maintain your heat. You got to make sure everything's at the right temperature. So tastes the best, but it's the hardest to work. So adding flavor to your food before, during, or after smoking. Some great ways to add flavor are marinades. These are acidic things that break down the proteins and tenderize the meats. Injection, so something you're actually injecting into the meat. It adds tons of moisture, it penetrates the meat throughout. Rubs on the outside of the meat, herbs, salt, spices, sugar. It adds great texture, it adds great flavor. Sauces, barbecue sauces, glazes, and dressings. And then brining. Brining is something you do before you cook your meat. You're actually going to put it in a brining solution, like a salt solution, and it keeps your meat really tender, really flavorful. It keeps it from drying out. It's great. So in order to cook your food well, you have to know exactly what temperature you're going to pull your food out at. So even the experts use thermometers to keep track. You don't really want to guess because it's going to be a long smoke. You're putting in a lot of effort. So some examples of thermometers that I have. This is just a simple pen thermometer. It's digital, so you can check it along the way. Another great one that I use all the time is this one from ThermoPro. You actually it's a probe, you put it right in your meat and you can leave it on the entire cook and set it to what temperature you want to pull it out. Just make sure everything is, at the higher temperature, at the lower temperature. It controls everything. It's a great product, and it really makes sure that your food comes out great every single time. So wrapping up, some final thoughts here. Think about when you're doing your first smoke. Start early. You want to go low and slow. Plan for more time than you think. You don't want to be rushing at the end. This is something that you've spent a lot of money on. You've put a lot of time into a lot of smokes you're doing your whole day, you're smoking. So you want to make sure that you dedicate a lot of time to it. Make sure you're regulating your heat and paying close attention. You need to be nearby at all times. Don't start something and then go off and run your errands for the day. You want to make sure you're around. So if something is off, you can be there to fix that. Don't overdo the amount of smoke. You want it to taste like it's smoked, but you don't want it to taste bitter and burnt. You have a nice mellow smoked flavor, which is why it's important to choose a type of wood that complements your food accordingly. Know about how long your smoke will take and what temperature you're trying to reach. So if you think it's going to be about 12 hours, make sure you dedicate that full 12 hours to smoking, and make sure you know exactly what temperature you're planning on pulling that meat out, because as soon as that alarm goes off, you want to pull that right out there. Choose a good quality of food to smoke. Like we said before, you're dedicating all day to this. You want to have a great meal. Don't buy the cheapest piece of meat on the rack. Buy something with nice marbling, something nice that you're going to be proud of at the end. Just because you have a smoker doesn't mean you have to just do meat. You can try other things, branch out, try some new things. Something I always like to tell people, if you're looking, you're not cooking. So every time you open up that smoker, you got to add more time to your cook because you're losing all your heat. So if you're looking, you're not cooking. Make sure you stay patient, keep that door shut. Most importantly, have fun. Smoking is a great way to produce some awesome foods and try some new things and produce new flavors. So go out there and give it a shot. I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you.